Chapter 1090. Kizaru. Okay. Let me tell you one thing. Whenever there is a chapter or a title or a chapter name in a book that is just the character's name, you know things are going down. Literally a title or a name or anything, that's a big red flag. This is bad. This is real bad. Anyway, what's this? A black cat and Kuro quietly reading. So, is this the only Kuro fan in the world or something? Because I know people don't really like Kuro. I think I'm one of very few people who thought Kuro was kind of badass. I don't think we've seen Kuro in a very long time. It's cool though. All right, let's keep going. Hello, this is Monkey D. Luffy. Okay. Okay. What are you doing? We have Dr. Vegapunk. If you value York's life, move all the ships away from the shore. The absolute Mega Chad. He's a true monster, just as evil as the stories say. Okay, so Luffy is building legend. Wait, what? Big News Morgan is listening in? Well, this isn't good. Well, I guess that's how we find out about the Egghead incidents. He just leaks the entire thing. Oh my god, are we actually going to have a conversation between the elders and Luffy? No shot. You're Straw Hat Luffy. Who is still alive in there? Well, some folks are injured and... A woman's voice. Nico Robin. Information is a weapon, don't hand your enemies weapons. Oops, sorry, but hey there, we're gonna move the ships now. Oh my god. I didn't have this on my bingo. I didn't have this on my bingo at all. Luffy talking to the 5 elders? Okay. There are 3 things we must retain. York's safety, the punk records his brain, oh I wonder that, and the power plant that creates the mother flame. Everything else is disposable. Okay. Rob Lucci's group is in there, as well as the other Cypherpol agents. I speak of the worst case scenario. Don't lose sight of our... Wait, hold on. So, who's in on this group call? Like, what's the Discord group look like? So we have Luffy. We have supposedly like Kizaru and Saturn. We have Big News Morgan, who's also Vivi and what's his face? I forget his name. The Toy Man, listening in. And then we also have the rest of the elders listening in. That is one stacked group call. Wapal. Yes, that's his name. That's his name, Wapal. Think of human lives as nothing more than insects. Well then, they will always breed more to make up for any loss. Okay. Okay. This is something I've been thinking about. Like, at this point, clearly they are like very, very comically evil. Do we have a... We have had betrayals. I want more characters that are very nuanced, because at this point, like, he is literally the most evil man that could ever exist. Like, think of humans as nothing more than insects. Okay, let's keep going. Do you realize what you've done? I have an agreement with the 5 elders. If you hurt me at all, this whole island will go up in smoke, just like Okura. I highly doubt that. Highly doubt that. It does have me like we've been talking about the whole immortality angle and all that. It does make me wonder, like, this whole, like, his perspective of looking at them as almost like lowly beings. It does make me wonder how all of that plays into it. Because whenever characters say something like this, like human lives are worth nothing, to me it always implies that there's some sort of fantastical element where they're not necessarily human themselves. So whether they're immortal or they're like in some way a superior being or something like that, you know, where they just write off every other human life. But then again, this could just be an old man who's like, I don't care about anything. So I don't know. I don't know. All right, let's keep going. Are you feeling okay, Robin? Chopper's the best. Come on, surely we're going to find out what happened before. Yes, Chopper, thanks to you. Don't butter me up, you jerk. I love Chopper so much. Chopper is the best. Just look at the state of me. But remember, I was up against 2 Seraphim. Yeah, go back to sleep. Oh my god, there's so much going on. Lilith, would you pipe down? I'm getting in touch with the basement. Wait, is Lilith crying? Is she actually crying? It looks like tears. That's not very Lilith. 2 Vegapunks dead. What? Okay, is it... What? Lucci is trying to leak intel. Okay. There's so many things happening on the panel. I'm just trying to scan it. Her brother just died, let her grieve? Well, yeah, but I just thought that, you know, they are the absolute single emotion extracted from Vegapunk, you know? And if you're absolutely evil, I don't think you'd cry. Maybe that's my interpretation, but I guess that's not true. I guess, as with all things, it's not black and white. I like that, actually. Are you guys behaving yourselves down there? Labofe's basement. Oh my god, what was going on here? Hey, Straw Hats, not so loud. There are enemies. Thanks for the food. You're our saviors. I feel alive again. So, alright, so they let everyone free. But the Seraphim are on your side. They're safe, right, Vegapunk? Of course, those bubble balls are made of the same material as the Pacifista MK3's bubble shields. Sea energy is incorporated into its materials, making it the perfect weapon for trapping power users. Oh my god, the theory turned out to be right, didn't it? You can rest assured we have not received any orders to kill you, but we have no interest in you. Is friggin' Boa going to turn out to be a Luffy fan all over again? Is that what's going on here? Okay, let's keep going. These panels are just like, they throw information at you and you're just like, okay, figure it out. I kind of like this. Like, what happened here? How did we get here? Be that as it may, I'm grateful to you, S-Snake. You released us from the powers, from the stone powers. Strange, that shouldn't be a part of our programming. Oh my gosh, she's going sentient. Yes, it turned out to be true. Hey Hancock, they're my friends. Please, you gotta undo it. You're the only one who can save them, please. Alright, I'll do it. Just stop looking right at me. Okay, so now I'm wondering if she can break protocol, how absolute is it? Because that was like the number one thing I said. We had this very distinct like hierarchy of powers, right? And you couldn't override these like absolutely no matter what you did. But now Luffy just did. And it wasn't even a power override. It was just him talking to Boa and then supposedly some of her DNA being hard encoded to like Luffy. Okay. Okay. I don't know what to think of this S-Snake in Love thing. It is kind of weird, but I really hope they just don't play it up. I hope it's just left as a little goof and that's it, because it is weird. It is weird. Like, I've said this many times. All of these, it's a robot, it's 10,000 years old, they're weird. I hope this isn't a thing. I know exactly what you mean. I just hope it's a bit of a goof and that's it, we move on. Because if it is like literally a thing that is hard encoded in her DNA, then whatever, you know, because she's literally a clone made from Boa. So, you know, I don't know. If knowledge and techniques are copied with the DNA, then it makes sense so that emotions are too. This also proves that, DNA. Yeah, I hope so. I hope so. I hope it's literally a case of, like, the problem that they overlooked is that by copying their DNA and hoping to make, like, better soldiers, they inevitably just shoot themselves in the foot because they make the same soldiers just more powerful, you know? They hoped to detach the human element from the war, because this would be like the perfect way I would write the story, right? So obviously everyone involved is power hungry. That's why they created the Seraphims, right? Because they would be strong enough to replace the warlords without having the personality of the warlords, right? That is their one and only goal, power. And if they do this immoral thing, because you know, like, cloning is very immoral by default. A lot of people think like cloning should never be a thing no matter what circumstances. You know, there's a whole morality debate around that, but they did it, right? And now it backfires on them because the entire thing flips upside down, and guess what? You cloned someone who you wanted to take their personality away. Well, by cloning them, they still retain their personality. I think it'd be the perfect backfire. As to how much this actually turns out to be true, well, I guess we'll wait and see. The mistake lies in them being a living weapon. Exactly, right? Alright, so she undid... Okay, and then they captured them. Okay, I guess that makes sense. I guess that makes sense. Yeah, there we go. Yes, the information transmitted through bloodline elements when producing clones is really most fascinating. I mean, it makes sense, right? Because when we saw Zoro going up against Mihawk, Mihawk's Seraphim was also sort of like, oh, here we go. You know? You know what has me very curious now? You know what has me the most curious now? We still haven't seen the Doflamingo Seraphim, have we? And if it retains its memories, Or at least some parts of their memories. Well, doesn't that seem interesting? Okay, let's keep going. Stella will restore the communication system, but the frontier dome still won't open. We can't escape without the barrier receding. It's pointless, there's an encryption code on it, and my brain is in sync to all of yours, so you won't get it from me. Okay. We're completely surrounded on all sides. Stella, there are 100 ships of various sizes. About 30,000 men, I'd guess. That's a lot of dudes. This is quite an ordeal, then. Welcome back, Miss Stussy. Would you like a coffee? Nami, right? You're the navigator. Yep, that's me. Alright, so Luffy can basically give orders to Hancock, for the most part. The rest of them are restrained, and they're about to have a war. Okay. At Marineford, Boa never went, yeah, I'm interested more so, like, when they collected the samples, right? Because technically, they should have Blackbeards as well. And that's like the biggest thing. My understanding was that when you sign the documents of becoming a warlord, that's when, like, they take your samples or something like that, right? Because, like, they have all of the warlords. If they're taking the samples when you become a warlord as some sort of like protocol or something, then Blackbeard and Doflamingo are the two big ones I'm kinda spooked about. Anyway, let's keep going. This chapter is just like, maybe it's a good thing that we have a break. I might need to reread this just to take everything in, because I still don't understand what the hell has happened. It's just like, let's just move on, you know? We'll figure it out. The log post hasn't recorded the signal yet, but we still have one steady needle from Wano we can use. It's pointing northeast of here. That'd be Elbaf then. Well then, Elbaf, we're finally going. I like it. I love it. That's such a fourth wall breaking thing. We're finally going. The Isle of Giants at last. Elbaf, everyone is huge because they're giants. Well, I mean, this has to be a confirmation that we are going to Elbaf, right? Absolutely. Fortunately, your ship is currently here at the Labo phase, but the Navy ships are waiting along every bit of coastline. We can't leave via the port. The northeast direction we'd be heading is on the backside of the island. Good thing that your ship is with the Vega Force 1. We could use the Vega Force 1 to simply fly over the Navy's blockade. But the robot can only fly in the airspace over Egghead. Once you leave, it will fall to the earth. Well, that's not a problem. Oh, no problem, yeah. That's where we can use the Sunny's coup de burst to fly even farther. If we fly a kilometer away, no one will be able to catch us. It flies on oh my god, all the predictions are coming true. Oh my god, literally every single theory anyone has ever had is coming true. Vegapunk is now fascinated by Frankie using cola as an energy source. Oh my god, he will figure something out with this. Please don't tell me cola will be some sort of revolutionary energy source. Oh god. Perfect, but we still need to deactivate the Frontier Dome first. And I won't tell you the code. Let's crack this thing. Never play mind games with a Vegapunk. Okay, so if we just avoid the entire conflict, I think it might be a case of we leave behind the Seraphims, maybe? But no, that wouldn't make sense. Like, do we just avoid the entire battle and that's how we deal with it? Or maybe it's a case of we fight to hold them off, then we flee, then we land on Elbaf, and then a big war happens on Elbaf. Something like that. Because, like, usually, you know how we arrive at an arc, and there's some sort of domestic problem there. On Elbaf, I mean, there's nothing's going on there because it's Shanks' territory. Like, there's no shot anything is happening on Elbaf. So, if it is a battle that we bring to Elbaf, that makes a lot of sense. And if it is indeed 30,000 dudes, along with Saturn and Kizaru, well, that makes a lot of sense. Sounds too easy to be next? No, we're going to Elbaf. Absolutely, we're going. So Ode is teasing us we won't go to. We're absolutely going to Elbaf. We're 1,000,000% going to Elbaf. Luffy said so. Luffy said we're finally going. Yes. 100% we're going to Elbaf. Vega Force 1 becomes a new soldier docking system. This whole thing is just wild. Honestly, I'm more so surprised that we have gotten all of these sci-fi shenanigans. Like, if you told me that the biggest thing we learn on Egghead are about these things called Seraphims, and not like devil fruits, I'd be very, very surprised. But we literally haven't said a single word about, well, I mean, we have. We found out the whole, they're like dreams, right? I want more Devil Fruit lore. Because just saying they are manifested because someone wanted it is not enough. Give me more lore. I don't think we're gonna get lore anytime soon. Because I think it's about to be a battle. Anyway, Lilith, I want you to use the Vega Force 1-2. Let's go move the ship around the back. We gotta hurry. The barrier could come down at any moment. Good point. It means we can escape, but also that the enemy can attack us. I'll admit it, this is my first time ever leaving the island. It ain't a field trip. I'm not the only one thinking this is like way too many people, right? New prediction. I think at absolute most, the only people that come... I think Bonnie is definitely coming with us. I think Bonnie is our next major ally. The only other person I can see coming with us is Vegapunk himself. That's the only way I can see this working. Otherwise, it's just too many people. Alright. He's pretty cool, huh? A good cook and a good fighter. Why are you so cheerful all of a sudden? It's weird. Well, isn't that an odd thing to say? Is this just supposed to be a joke and I'm reading into it way too much? Because, like, cheese is enough, Sanji can make it into pizza on his own. And then she says, that's pretty cool, a good cook and a good fighter. And then he's asking, why are you so cheerful? Is this just supposed to be a joke that she can have, like, pizza? Because I think, I remember her eating pizza in Sabaody. So is it like her new favorite food or something? Not new favorite food, but is it like her favorite food or something? This seems kind of sus. Her being very cheerful. Read ahead, okay. I decided I won't kill Vegapunk anymore. Oh. I guess crying all night help you feel better, huh? I wasn't crying. So, what did she see in the memories? What did she see? And I guess my big theory about her broadcasting the memories is wrong then. Unfortunate. Unfortunate. Transmission from Rob Lucci. We've got details of what's happening inside. Share these with all ships. Did you hear that, Borsellino? I did. He talked a big game like he was in control, but it seems like they're actually all trapped inside. The Frontier Dome is a laser defense system, correct? And you are light. Can you get inside? Well then. Well then. Kuma's memories changed her mind, apparently? That seems very sus. Yes. Knowing Oda, because, like, normally you could make predictions about this, right? Normally you could make predictions about a character's backstory and why they might be sad / happy seeing their parents suffer / be happy. But this is Oda, so I don't think there's a single prediction that you can make that will make sense. Because, like, Kuma's memories could have been the most depressing thing known to man, but they also could have been the happiest thing known to man, and they could still result in Bonnie now being cheerful. Because that's just how Oda writes stories. It could be literally anything, and it would make perfect sense. So, you know, hopefully we find out at some point. Because there's gotta be a lot of important... Oh my god. Okay, I guess we're just moving on. I guess we're just not gonna find out anything about this. Alright. Quite frankly, I can. But a good friend of mine is defending Vegapunk below it. So leap over him. Well, that's not a very sporting thing to do when a man is making a principles stand like that. I prefer to play this one by the book. What the hell? Oh. Okay. Let's. I'm gonna read this through before I start spewing nonsense. And you should know that when we attack, it will mean that countless sea beast weapons and 50 pacifistas under Sentomaru's command will start sinking our ships in response. There's going to be a heavy cost to this, and time is of the essence. Where's the power plant? Rob Lucci is a very capable agent. He sent all of that, all the information I wanted to know. So, did Kizaru, of all people, just basically tell Saturn to shut up, and that they're doing things the way they're supposed to do them? It's like, this isn't even like some rebellious act. Dude is just spitting truths. Okay, let's read this through. Prepare for battle. If you can, use the 6 powers. Our cannons are worthless against the pacifistas. Use them on the sea beast weapons, yes sir. Alright, and all of us are actually just running. Sacred Yata Mirror. You're finally here, old man. Pacifistas eliminate all hostiles. Here I go, Sentomaru. My defense is the world's greatest. Light from below. Someone's here. Someone strong. To be continued. Oh my god. Oh my god. This could be... This could be Sabaody, but this could also be Kizaru getting his ass kicked. And I have no idea what it is. Kizaru's stock's going up right now? I have no idea how this will work out. I'm gonna be completely honest. Because, like, I think him making a stand against Saturn is insane. Because, like, think about it. He's the only Admiral right now that is, like, where does he even stand? Because freaking, what's his name? Akainu is just burn everything. Akainu hates everything, he will burn everything. Right? Aokiji is obviously no longer an Admiral, he's with Blackbeard. Whatever he's doing, is it some sort of weird freedom, whatever he's doing, he's obviously there and he's made his opinions very, very clear. The freaking Plants dude. The Plants dude is dumb. He does whatever he wants, he thinks he's the king of the world when he's clearly not. And then the Gravity Boy, I forget his name again. What's his name? Anyway, the Gravity Boy is doing things like very, very, very by the book. And he clearly also has a moral compass that he doesn't like harm people and stuff like that, right? At the end of Dressrosa. And he even thought Luffy was an interesting man. Kizaru, on the other hand, I'm just thinking to that panel we saw with like him shooting the little lasers into the sky with Sentomaru and Vegapunk. If the chillest guy we know, oh, I've got no clue. I'm just thinking if he turns out to be the absolute mega chad chill dude that is always just like, don't worry about it, we'll figure it out, we're going to find the easiest way, right? Let's not harm our buddies, it's gonna be great. And then when he pops off, he really pops off. Like, we haven't, if Oda tells us that we've literally never seen him fight yet, and even like back in Sabaody, that was just like him kind of messing around with, because I still remember when he was fighting Rayleigh, right? And Rayleigh was saying, oh, I've gotten old, I can't fight anymore. And he basically said that, oh, you're saying you've gotten old. Is holding off an Admiral single-handedly like not enough for you? That seems very, very bizarre in hindsight. If all this time he's been holding back and now my guy is just casually telling Saturn to shut up and that they're not going to just kill everyone like he wants to, I've got no clue. Because also, like, I remember he was talking about, like, was that last chapter? Yeah, there we go. Like, in the last chapter, he talked about, I'm just another cog in the machine. I'm just thinking of where he fits in all this. Is he just, like... Is he still finding a purpose? In some weird way? And that's why he's sort of... He walks the line, if you will? I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I think if he's coming in here solo... If he's actually in here completely solo... Could we not actually kind of take him? Like with Luffy, Zoro, and everyone else? I don't mean to start a power scaly debate, but couldn't we, like, kind of hold our own against him? You know? This is an odd one. The Straw Hats are trying to escape. Kizaru was on his way to attack, and they're trying to get to an important location. This is Sabaody 2. After Kizaru failed to capture the Straw Hats in Sabaody, Kizaru captured 200 pirates in frustration. Kizaru was not as chill. That's what I mean. Right? If this is the usual thing of the most chill guy being the most dangerous and it's not even close. That is the usual trope you have with these things. The most chill agent in any of these police shows is usually the most skilled one, you know? And the reason why they're chill is because they're just like, they've reached the point where they're so detached from everything that it's just like, none of this is really like bothersome for them. Because like so far people have been memeing about Kizaru kind of being, not lazy, obviously, because he's still an absolute mega chad. But people are just saying, like, oh yeah, you know, like, the reason why he never flies around at light speed is because he's slow and he's lazy and blah, 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 you know? He just doesn't care about anything. He doesn't even bother to go fast. But if all of that has been a pseudo-act, then I have no idea. I still don't think this is Sabaody 2. I don't. I don't see this turning into Sabaody 2.0. I can see all the parallels. The parallels are crystal clear. Even down to the trees. The fact that we also have like a pseudo-tropical location when we're leaving. But I still don't think this is going to be Sabaody too. At the same time, he's like, even how this is playing out is also the exact same. Like, he is the first one to land, and then the rest will the rest will appear, right? And the fact that Luffy is also shook. Because Luffy seems honestly like way more shook than we've seen him in a long time. When's the last time we've seen Luffy actually this shook? My guy literally faced Kaido in Wano without blinking. He literally popped off in Act 1. And now it also makes me wonder, is the reason why he's casually talking back to Saturn because Saturn sort of realizes that he wants to keep him in check? So he'll give up an inch to sort of find this compromise because he knows that arguing against him is kind of just a bad idea, and he'd rather convince whatchamacallit that they're playing by his plan in order not to create conflict amongst themselves. I wonder if it's something like that. Then again, I've also been memeing that the five elders are the five elder clowns, so I don't know. Anyway, let's run through the chapter again, because this one, I definitely need to reread this one. I need to somehow make the timeline fit in my brain. A lot has happened off-screen, and especially like with how much we jumped around with Egghead, I just need to get the timeline clear. Otherwise, this is insane. Alright, so, basically, Big News Morgan overhears everything going on. So this is where we get the reporting from whatchamacallit, the big Egghead incident, right? So this is why we hear about it. So some of the crew is kinda hurt because we obviously still fought. But now everyone is totally fine. They want York. So it seems like they're actually going to Punk Records' brain and the power plant that creates the Mother Flame. So the Mother Flame, it does seem like it is basically, it is either ammo or it is a one-time weapon. Regardless, they still need to remake the whole thing. However it works. So they still want to use Lucci. And Lucci seems to be leaking intel. Okay. Well, I mean, he's definitely leaking intel. The rest of the whatchamacallits have been released. And they're cheering for Luffy. So we have some backup, I guess. All the Seraphims are trapped. And we don't really know what's going on with them. They seem to be just vibing. Also, the Jinbei Seraphim looks so goofy in this panel. He just looks to be vibing. Okay. So Luffy can convince Hancock to do whatever. Okay. I really hope this is just like a one-time goof. That's it. York is still trying to convince them that she is the one in control, okay? Elbaf is next, definitely. Elbaf is 100% next. Then Vegapunk goes hacker mode. And then we basically start to escape. And Kizaru arrives. The fact that this chapter is named after Kizaru kind of makes me wonder what the implications of that are. Because obviously the big one is Kizaru just like casually talking to Saturn here. But I wonder if this is setting his role up to be even something greater. Have we had chapters? Because obviously I don't know. Have we had chapters titled after the Admirals before? Has there been a chapter of One Piece called like Aokiji? Or Kuzan? Or something like that? Because I don't know. If there has, it might be worth going back and reading what they're about, if this has been a trend. That said, my prediction right now is we still have Blackbeard on the way. Well, not Blackbeard himself, but someone of the Blackbeard crew. So something is going to go down here, obviously, and the Egghead incident does happen. But I still don't think this is Sabaody 2. If it is, oh my god. I don't think it is, but if it is, then oh boy. I have no clue what's going to happen. I think well, I mean, for a little while now, I guess we're going to have Run Piece in the manga. So that'll be fun. I have no idea. I'm going to give this chapter a 9 out of 10. I've literally no clue what's going on half the time. I need to get caught up on the actual timeline here. We're going to Elbaf next, so that's good. This is a wild chapter. This is one of those times where I'm just thinking, like, if they've sent all these dudes, obviously a battle has to happen, you know? Garp has been captured and in danger. Luffy might hear about this and try to save him, like Ace? Maybe? Maybe? That's like the biggest thing that has been going on in my mind for a long time now, right? Like, what comes next? Is it not what comes next, but what's like the first thing? Is it going to Laugh Tale? Is it fighting Blackbeard? Or it's the final war? Like, what is the actual order of those events? Because all three of those events will happen. A lot of people are saying that maybe we fight Blackbeard on Laugh Tale. I don't think so. So I think those are separate events. I think fighting on Laugh Tale is kind of against the point of Laugh Tale. You know, I feel like Blackbeard should be the last gatekeeper for getting to Laugh-Tale. But then we still need to somehow fit in the final war and how that actually plays into everything. So that's what I'm confused about, because I do think that the Garp storyline will obviously be important when we find out about it, because that gives us a very, again, I said this when we read the Kobe chapter. I think a Luffy-Kobe team-up is happening, like 100%. And if we go with the line of thinking that Blackbeard is whatchamacallit, reincarnated, rocks, right? Then Luffy and Kobe fighting Blackbeard at the same time makes perfect sense. But again, I just don't know what the order of all those events is going to be. Because I mean, even if I entertain the idea that this is Sabaody 2, like if we get defeated here, how would that even work? Like what comes next? Like if we're defeated here, shouldn't we just all die? Like how would we flee from this defeat? That's sort of why I lean against this being a total crushing defeat like Sabaody. I have no clue. I have literally no idea. Anyway, I guess I'll leave it there for today. I think, whatchamacallit, Tekking made a video about like what happened during the time skip. I definitely need to watch that. Hopefully I can get a better lay of the land. Because this is, like, the memories are just completely flown over. And she's acting bizarrely now? Literally no idea. Anyway, thank you for joining me today. This has been a very confusing chapter, but a fun chapter. I guess it's good that we have a break. We'll have to think about this. I want to see the theories that have come out of this chapter, because this one is odd. Alright, have a good one. Bye-bye.